Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and today looking at Cosmic Incursion. Now, its biggest legacy is probably the reward deck, and giving defenders a reason to actually ally with the defense. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today I am doing a hopefully quicker rankum of the 20 powers in Cosmic Incursion. And I say quicker because the 50 powers from the base set took almost an hour. So, can we get this done in less than 20 minutes? Hopefully. Let's go. All right, number 20. And remember, this is how fun is it for me to play this power. Is Symbiote. I don't think Symbiote's a bad power, not by any means. But just having 20 extra ships, having a total of 40 ships in the game, not something I'm really having fun with. I do get to be a lot more carefree about the way I use my ships, so it's not bad in any means, but it's not exciting. I don't feel like I do anything. Multi-power game, absolutely love Symbiote, and that's about it. So that's number 20, Symbiote. Number 19, Gorilla. This is a power I've never liked it. I see Gorilla as one of my options, and I go, I'll take just about anything else. Gorilla, I just never like the phrase, after you lose, do something. When that's the only time I get to activate my power, I'm not happy about it. So, Gorilla, everyone being able to land a ship, or when I go on offense, people only getting one reward, it can help me, but I feel like if this had something like, and you get to take an encounter, or if you're on offense, you get to go again type phrasing on it, Gorilla would be much better. I'd enjoy it a whole lot more. As it is, not something I want to play, not something I like. Number 19. Number 18 is Locust. Now, Locust is interesting. If you have a foreign colony and you're the only one on that foreign colony, you get to eat the planet, get your ships back, and you have that colony secure. That's cool. However, you got to get a foreign colony by yourself. And that can be tough. Not impossible. Not impossible by any means. But it's rare. And this really takes the social aspect out of the game. I mean, people know that you're the Locust, so they're going to probably ally against you. Nobody wants their planet eaten. Their defenders are going to use good cards against you. You're going to find the going a lot tougher for you in the game. So you end up bringing allies. Your power is useless. You might as well play with a blank power. Again, just something I'm not a big fan of. That was my number 18. Locust. Number 17 is Genius. Now, I do actually like the Genius power. It's an alt-win power. You get to win the game if you get to 20 or more cards in your hand. It's cool. You can also forego foreign colonies and draw a card for every ship that you had in the encounter. Problem is, people don't want to ally with you. People don't want to invite you as an ally. It's going to be tough for you to get cards. Unless you get lucky with flares, you're just in a tough spot. Genius is really cool in a hidden power game or in a multi-power game. But standalone, Genius has a lot of struggle to actually accomplish their goal. I think more struggle than Masochist, more struggle than TikTok. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Genius is fun. But when your sole goal is to acquire cards, you're stuck kind of going, oh, but I like these cards. So you're in that tough, I want to play these, but I don't actually want to lose them. So that was, that's Genius at number 17. Number 16 is Disease. Now, Disease is this kind of, mean power. Really is the best way I have to say it. Disease is this kind of power that kicks people off. And yeah, it's when Destiny comes up, if you have a foreign colony or a colony in the infected player's home system, With at least 3 ships, you get to gain an additional colony. You're just kind of spreading. And it puts a tick-tock on the game, really. It puts a timer. Again, this is one where you're not going to get a lot of ally invitations. People are going to be hesitant to ally with you, and disease is a tricky power to navigate. That doesn't mean it's bad, but you also have to get lucky with the way destiny comes up. You've established a colony in someone's system, so that's already one less opportunity you have to disease in that system. Better in a small player game, but I don't know. Just one, I got to be in the right mood to play disease. So, yeah. Number 15 is Bully. Now, Bully is, I don't know, maybe even too highly ranked. It's a very good power. Bully is scary. Bully puts fear into the game, just like the Ship Zap and many other cards like that. When you win, you get to choose where ships are lost from, if both players revealed attack cards. Basically, you're going to end up winning a lot of encounters when you're the main player, and that's okay. It means you don't need a lot of allies. It also means players are going to be very specific about where they put ships, where they return ships to. But Bully is mean, and Bully definitely leaves feel-bad moments. That's not a bad thing in Cosmic, but Bully is definitely not friendly, and Bully probably treads the line between a yellow and a red power for me. All right, number 14, Ethic. I like Ethic. I actually enjoy the power. I love the artwork, but for me, Ethic is just, well, it falls into the after you lose. And it has a worse caveat, in which both main players revealed attack cards. However, you do get to collect compensation. So if you tried, you get to gain cards. But it's a little bit better. Whenever you gain compensation, you can take it from the deck instead of your opponent. So there is some good trade-off here. If you know somebody's got a bad hand, you can just draw cards from the deck. You go fishing for flares. You have some nice balance here. Ethic, again, not a bad power. Just one. I got to be in the right kind of mood. I got to maybe in a thematic game where we're talking about card-based powers, healer, kamikaze, a bunch of players that are drawing cards, moving cards around. Ethic is going to have a much better use there. So, all right, 13, Leviathan. Now, I love the concept of Leviathan. Sending a planet to attack with the hyperspace gate. It's a world ship. You get plus 20. But you have limits to it. And offense only. Offense only powers are, they can be very good, but they never truly excite me. I feel like, okay, I'm going to have my moment, but I'm never going to, I'm not going to be able to be involved as much as I want to be involved. And worse, people are scared of me getting my turn because I have plus 20 coming to attack on my side. It can be a very scary feature here. Yeah, again, like Leviathan, just not something that I'm always going to be in the mood to play. So that's why it's a 13 here. Still good power. Number 12, Mercenary. And Mercenary is a very interesting power. You get to use it as main player or offense ally only. So that's good timing here. And when you win, you get to gain defender rewards. So I appreciate that. It gives me double incentive to go on offense, and it removes my incentive to go on defense as an ally. So I'm going to be kibitzing and telling the offense, hey, look, I want to be on offense, and I want to be on offense with 4 ships. I am your best friend. Bring me with you. I will do everything in my power for us to win because I want those defender reward cards. Now, that's perhaps overselling, but you got to take what you can get. So the mercenary, good table talk power, something I enjoy. But for me, it falls down at 12 because there are a lot of limitations. Number 11 is Cryo. Now, a lot of times I call Cryo the sweep bag cards under the rug power because every turn, well, every time you're the main player or an ally, you get to take a card from your hand and put it on the player sheet. And then at any point, you can pick everything up from that hand and have a new hand. So you have choices, right? You can bury bad cards that you don't want, get a new hand, a normal new hand faster. Or you can bury good cards, play out some bad cards, and get a new hand that you've handpicked faster. Choices are yours. Cryo offers me some good choices. I like playing Cryo. I like games with Cryo because I like to see the psychological tricks that people try to pull. And I think Cryo gives players a lot of good options. And that's why Cryo sits at 11. All right, number 10, Seeker. Seeker can be a weird power. It is very table group dependent. But the ability to ask someone a question and then they are bound by that yes or no can really shape the game. Asking them a question, are you going to play a reinforcement? Puts them in a bind. Are you going to play a flare? They must follow to that answer. It isn't, oh, I think I will. It's going to depend on what happens. No, they must. They must play one if they can. If they have it in their hand. If they said yes, they must do it. And that can be a complete throwaway. But they still have to do it. So Seeker can really alter the game if you are clever with the way you ask questions. So that's why I like Seeker. It's not always going to change the game, but it certainly can. All right, number 9, Deuce. And Deuce is this very weird power where you get to play 2 cards. If they're both attack cards, you add them together. If one's a negotiate, you've negotiated. I guess if they're both negotiates, you've negotiated. And then you discard the negotiate or you discard the higher card. And you get the other one back. So players start to have some idea about what's in your hand. But you are also playing fairly decent attack totals. You got to know when to negotiate. You got to kind of manage your hand well. There's a reason this is yellow. It's not that it's a super easy power, but it's also not the most complicated power. And you get a new hand a little sooner. So Deuce is an interesting power for me. It's pretty straightforward, ultimately. But you still got to have that hand management aspect. And I like it. I like playing Deuce. I didn't used to like playing Deuce, but it's growing on me. So that's Deuce at number 9. Number 8 is CHRONOS. And CHRONOS is... I didn't like the way that encounter went. Let's do it over. But you don't get your encounter card back. I do. And then we're going to play it out all over again. So, yeah, CHRONOS can win you the game. CHRONOS can do absolutely nothing except prolong every turn. But CHRONOS also has this mind game to it. And that is why I like CHRONOS. if I'm up against CHRONOS, do I try to win with my best card, knowing I'm going to have to win with my next best card? Or do I try to win with my next best card, see what happens, and then spring the actual winning card on CHRONOS? Those are the questions. And you can't backstab CHRONOS in a negotiate, because then CHRONOS is going to time travel and backstab you. And yeah, that's just the way it goes. So yeah, I like CHRONOS. I think CHRONOS is a very weird but very fun power. So CHRONOS at 8. Number 7 is Merchant. Merchant gets to use cards as ships when they're a main player or ally. And these ships can get rewards and can add to totals in battle. It's a way to potentially get rid of cards, and it's definitely a way to get more cards, right? If you ally with defense, you bring in 4 ships and you send 4 cards. Now you have 8, and you get to draw 8 cards, and now you have more cards with which to send and keep going. This is a snowball power, and I really like it. I have seen some crazy hires with Merchant, and Merchant is scary at times. So that is Merchant, sitting at number 7. Number 6 is Ghoul. And Ghoul is a tough one to crack. But when Ghoul wins, they get rewards for every ship that they send to the warp. Ghoul can be amazing if they have a strong hand. Or Ghoul can be terrible if you can never actually win an encounter. It's all dependent on some destiny luck and some hand luck. But typically once Ghoul gets going, Ghoul keeps going. And that's why I like Ghoul here at number 6. Number 5 is Magician. And I really like powers that take away some choice. So against Magician, you have to take 2 cards, put them face down. Magician takes one into their hand, and you play the other. This is a very messy power because you are losing a card for sure. Do you play 2 bad cards? Do you play 2 good cards? Do you play 1 bad, 1 good and hope for the best? Those are the choices you have to consider against Magician. So I enjoy Magician. I don't enjoy playing against Magician, and that's the mark of a good power for me. And that is why Magician comes in at number 5. Number 4 is Sniveler, and Sniveler is just the power to be an annoying brat and go, I don't have the most foreign colonies, or I don't have an attack card higher than 12, and you get to do those types of things. And players either lose stuff or give you stuff. It's a catch-up mechanic, but it's also something you get to play into, and you get to kind of make sure the game's played the way you want it to be played. You can say, I don't have a flare. And then somebody's got to give you a flare, or everybody's got to discard their flares. And it's once per encounter, but it's still once per encounter. You are messing with cards that players have in their hands, and eventually people just don't have good stuff. So yeah, Sniveler, number 4. Annoying pain in the butt power, but still one I have fun playing. Number 3 is Fury, and Fury is fun for me in a weird way. Each time 1 or more of your ships is lost to the warp or removed from the game, you get a token on the sheet. Each token, after cards are selected but before they're revealed, you can use your tokens to add or subtract 3 from your side's total. And I have seen people add a whole bunch, add 21, or 30, or subtract from their side. And those screw-over moments are amazingly fun and are stories that get talked about. So Fury, just for the potential of the stories, but also for the way stuff stacks. 3, like, +3 doesn't seem like a lot. But +12 is a big swing. And that's from one encounter losing 4 ships. Fury can be a really big addition to an encounter. So yeah, Fury, number 3. Fungus, number 2. And Fungus just captures ships and makes stacks, and you get like 4 white ships with a red one on top. Fungus gets bonuses for these ships. He gets to send in crazy stacks, and this just becomes a very crazy looking game when you have Fungus stacks around. The Cosmic Encounter ships in the Fantasy Flight version were meant for stacking and Fungus in mind, and I just love them. I love Fungus being able to take stuff over. This it's crazy power, and I enjoy it every time I play it. And my number 1 is Plant. Plant is kind of the power to have a bunch of powers. Just like I love Reincarnator in the base set, I love Plant in Cosmic Incursion. And it's before you select cards, you can use this power to take a power from another player where you have a foreign colony. You get to keep it for the rest of the encounter. So there are limits here, right? You don't get alliance powers or destiny powers. You can't become the will or the grudge. But you can become Fury and take Fury's tokens. You can have a bunch of other powers and use those to help you win an encounter. You could graft Human and get a +4. You can graft Human and zap yourself to win. And you could graft Magician and get the card switch. Plant lets you have a bunch of choices here. And while it may not be good in every game, because sometimes there are just terrible power combos out there that don't really work with Plant, just the threat of you stealing powers and players not being able to have their own power, that makes Plant a very solid choice. So that's it. That is my personal ranking of how fun the Cosmic Incursion powers are for me to play. I know people play the game very differently than I do, and that's okay. Let me know what you think. And, coming up soon, we'll have the rest of the expansions. So, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate your time. And until next time, keep brushing up your game. All right, take care.